Hey everyone, welcome back to another video, and in this video I'll be showing you how to use a color trigger in Geometry Dash. If you saw my start position trigger video, I'm probably going to put it up on the screen right now, then this is basically a sequel to this series. So yeah, how about we go into our level and then we can begin. Okay, so now that we're in our level, we can begin. So you know how the background is green right now throughout the entire level? Like let's just say that we wanted to change the color of this background, the ball part. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to build right here. I'm going to go to this tab, which I have already selected, and click on the color trigger. And then I can just select any grid space to place it down. And here it is, the color trigger. Now if we press edit object, you could see we get this massive color wheel with two circles. Now, we can drag the outer circle to select the color, and we can drag this circle to select the brightness and saturation. Now, let's just say that we wanted to change the color of this ball part's background to blue. Now, you can also see that these are now pink because these are set to color ID 1. See, they're on color ID 1 right here. And this is set to color ID 1. So it's going to change this in 0.5 seconds. So now, if we wanted to change the background, we would press this little plus button right here. Click that, and then we get a whole bunch of other options like background, ground 1, ground 2, line, object, 3D line, middle ground, and middle ground 2. Now, we're going to select the background for this experiment, and we're going to drag this color wheel to, let's say, somewhere around blue. And we're just going to experiment with this until we get the settings that we want. This looks pretty good. Now, play it. The background fades into blue when I play the ball, which is really nice. Alright, now I'm going to show you some of these extra settings, like touch trigger, spawn trigger, player color 2, copy color, blending, player color 1. So player color 1 just selects your player color, or whatever player color who's playing the level is using. So if I change my color to green, the background switches to a bright green instead. Now I'm going to go change my icons back. So now you can see that it's yellow because I use yellow as my icon. You can see him right here. Now, there are some other options too. Like fade time is how long it takes to change the background color. Like if I set this to 1 second, it's going to take 1 second to fully fade to blue. And blending just makes it blending. And so if I set this to blending, but then I set this instead of a background, I set it to color ID 1. Now, instead of being a regular color, it's going to be a blending color, which means it adds with colors around it. See, right now it's just this, set to blending, and then I put in another thing, like this. You can see they sort of blend together, which is what blending does. Now, copy color just copies whatever is in here. So that's what that does. And color ID, you could change this. The opacity is how opaque it is. So you can see if I set this to 0, right now it's color ID 1. These are all color ID 1, so the detail is gone. So it basically just turns it into this object. Basically the same thing, because the opacity of the detail is 0. So that's what opacity does. And touch trigger makes it so that it only happens if you touch it. So you see, if I put it like down here, if I don't do it, then nothing happens. You can see if I fall, it turns blue. And that's basically what touch trigger does. Now for spawn trigger. Spawn trigger is the last thing I'm going to show, and then that's basically done. So spawn trigger, you can see that it doesn't have a hitbox anymore, but it also doesn't have that blue line thing. And if we put it up here, you can see that it doesn't go off. So you might be thinking, well, how do I make it go off? So you make it go off with a spawn trigger. Now I'm going to explain spawn triggers in more detail in a couple of episodes, but basically if we add this to a group ID, Then we set the spawn group to activate group 2, and you can see that then it works. So this has a variety of different uses, but basically if it's set to spawn trigger, no matter where it is, the spawn trigger will set it off. So if you wanted to have all your background changes over here and just use spawn triggers, you could. Anyway, that's basically it for color triggers, and I really hope this helped. And now, while you're playtesting your level, you might need a little help starting from another position besides the beginning. So if you want to know how to do that, click on this video. And if you want to see me build a really cool level, click on this video. Anyway, see you later. Bye!